Well, hi, it's 9:21. Time for us to take a little field trip in our next must-see museum. We travel around the state and the region to find all kinds of museums for you to learn about and visit yourself.
For today's installment, we are heading to Lowertown in St. Paul in what could be the oldest established museum that we've been to yet.
So the Minnesota Museum of American Art started as a school 130 years ago and grew its collection into a museum of over 5,000 items. One of the missions is to increase their inclusion and diversity of artists that they display, especially those with Minnesotan and Indigenous representation.
The Minnesota Museum of American Art just reopened after a more than $14 million renovation, and it tripled its gallery space. Minnesota Live photojournalist Bill Middicky takes us there.
Hi, my name is Dr. Kate Bean, and I'm the Executive Director of the Minnesota Museum of American Art. The Minnesota Museum of American Art is a wonderful institution that has been around in Minnesota since the 1890s. We started as a school, started gathering a collection. We have over 5,000 objects in our collection, and we really seek to inspire understanding of human experiences, complex truths, and trying to help people to connect with one another as Minnesotans. So in this room, we kind of call it the grounding room. We have a lot of Minnesota artists represented. We have artists like Cole Taylor, who's Prairie Island Dakota, artists like Tom Jones, who's Ho-Chunk, and Avis Charlie, who is Dene and Dakota, and this is actually the first work of art acquired by a Dakota artist. And as a Dakota executive director of this museum, I'm one of the first Indigenous executive directors of American Art Museum. And when I came into this position, into this role, it was important for me to have representation from my community within this museum, as we are in Minnesota, which is the Dakota homeland. Cass Gilbert designed the stained glass ceiling here. Cass Gilbert also designed the Minnesota State Capitol, as well as a number of other historic buildings across this country. And we've lovingly restored the ceiling here. It's stained glass that's been hand restored. We've had the opportunity of really being able to bring in and lean into the architecture of the space, and we are seeing the architecture as another element of our collection. This is one of my favorite corners of the museum, and I think what I love about it is that you see artists from different backgrounds, different time periods, different demographics, different experiences, speaking to their own experiences and worldviews in really interesting ways. And I love this work by Rabbit Strickland, who is a Red Cliff Ojibwe storyteller, and it's just this beautiful, beautiful work that connects Ojibwe storytelling with this sort of has this sort of Greek mythology look to it, and also positioned next to a Joan Brown, which is a favorite of a lot of people who come into our museum. And so what we're showing is that these different artists, different artistic movements, and ways of expression can be in conversation next to one another. Please come and visit us here in Lowertown in downtown St. Paul at the M. We would love to have you come and visit our space. We'd love to share the diversity of Minnesota artists, experiences, and stories with everyone.
We have the Executive Director of the Minnesota Museum of American Art, Dr. Kate Bean, joining us. It's great to have you here.
Hi.
That story Bill did a great job, but the images inside, I mean, from the stained glass, from the pictures, I mean, it looks like a really warm and inviting place to be.
It is. It's such a beautiful space. It's a very inclusive space. We've really, the mission of our organization is to inspire understanding of identities, experiences, and complex truths through American art. And our museum is a space that people can come to and feel welcome and feel like they're a part of the art scene, and that their representation is they're being seen and heard within a museum, which isn't always the case.
Yeah.
And that seems to be a big focus here, is to be able to have a space to be able to display some of the works of art from the Indigenous community.
Absolutely. When I came into my role as executive director, I'm one of the first people within my position that, as an Indigenous person, And, you know, I think that it's important for us to understand that Indigenous people have been here since time immemorial, and our representation matters. And when I came into my role, there was no representation by a Dakota artist within the collection of a museum that's been around since the 1890s. And so, you know, I brought in artwork by a artist by the name of Avis Charlie, who's Dakota and Dene, which you saw in the segment. She also made my earrings. We also have artwork by people like Rochelle Lanebull, who created Dakota pottery, which is really, really beautiful. And we have the largest collection of George Morrison works in the country within our collection, which we're really proud of.
When you're there, I mean, you're there every day. You get to walk around, you get to see everything. Is there a spot that resonates with you? Is there like a little gem in there where you say, I can't believe that this is part of the museum?
Absolutely. I think there's a lot of them. There's a lot of really important sightlines. Our curators, Bob Cozzolino and Kylie Huang, did a really, really phenomenal job of making sure that no matter where you were, you had this, you could make these connections. You have Rose and Melvin Smith, who did this beautiful work that shows representation of the Rondo neighborhood in St. Paul. You have Tom Jones, who's Ho Chunk, who does fabulous photography, Javier Tavera, Dougie Padilla, Cole Red Horse Taylor. And so there's all these amazing artists that need to be seen and heard in Minnesota. There's a particular corner that's my favorite, which has a beautiful painting by an artist by the name of Rabbit Strickland, which is just phenomenal. And it looks beautiful underneath the Cass Gilbert stained glass ceiling, which we had restored through Stonehouse Glass out of Avon, Minnesota. And we're super, super excited to be able to share the space.
So the museum itself, in its current location, I was reading earlier that it's been in like dozens of other locations prior to this, but it's been here since what, 2014, something like that, in the Endicott building?
Yeah, so we reopened before COVID in 2018. There's a sort of a part of the museum that open for a period of time. COVID hit, there was changes in leadership within the organization, and I came in December of 2021. And so it was my task to close a over $14 million capital project.
That's a lot of work.
To expand, to triple our gallery space, to get the renovation going. We worked closely with the State Historic Preservation Office, and we really see the building itself as another element of the collection, and that really shows the ways in which, you know, these historical elements can be utilized to show connections across time and community and culture, and we're not erasing anybody or anything. You know, we're keeping the historic nature of the building, but showing it in conversation with diverse representation across the state of Minnesota, with both living artists as well as historical artists.
Okay, thanks so much for your time. Very interesting. People need to go check it out.
Absolutely. Come see us in Lowertown. We need your support.
There you go. The Minnesota Museum of American Art is, again, the Endicott Building, Lowertown, St. Paul. It is open Thursday through Sunday, 10 to 4. Admissions free. Donations are accepted and appreciated. For more information, we'll put a link for you on MinnesotaLive.com.